If you build in Webflow, you know the struggle. You build from scratch with custom classes. Yeah, it gives you total control, but it takes forever, right? On the other hand, using standard templates, UI kits, or even AI could be fast, but it's rarely sustainable. And, eventually things are going to break down, and they are just a nightmare to scale. So for years, many years for me, developers and designers have been forced to choose between either speed or scalability. But wait, you might be thinking there are some really cool Webflow frameworks out there. Do we really need another one? That is a good question. Let's look at some framework that exists today. So we have Client First. If you ever worked with Webflow, the chances are you have heard of Client First. We actually believe that Client First is the easiest and most intuitive framework to work with. Simple naming, great logic. It's a system you can learn pretty fast. On its own, it's really, it's not that scalable for large projects because it lacks that dedicated layout classes, I think, grids, flexboxes, etc. And it doesn't have any components with props. Then you have other systems like MAST and Lumos. These are just really great, fantastic, extremely smart systems, but they rely heavily on custom code embeds and pretty complex setups, I think. Stepping away from native Webflow systems and using a lot of injected code and also a lot of stack classes to control the design, it means for many it's a steep learning curve. So these frameworks, I think, are targeted to more advanced developers, I would say. We got tired of compromising. We wanted the simplicity of Client First, but with extended classes for layouts. And also, we wanted the native Webflow component scalability. So yeah, that's why we created Atom, the Atom Builder framework. So Atom aims to take the best part of Client First and take it to the next level. You can think of it as kind of Client First extended. We kept easy to understand naming conventions, but we added some awesome layout classes, like a complete layout system, even grids, uneven grids, smart auto grids, flex boxes, some more utility classes, and we added a complete Webflow component library. We prioritize native Webflow. We try to build as natively as possible, but we also respect the best practices. So for example, we use a little bit of lightweight CSS for simple hover interactions instead of relying on GSAP and Webflow interactions when it's not really needed. So a little bit of custom code, but this just to make the project as clean and as fast as possible. Atom is a hybrid framework, I call it. So what does that really mean? It means it gives you strict professional structure of a CSS design system, but combined with the speed of a component-based page builder. All right, enough talking now. I am going to give you a little tour, an overview of the system inside Webflow, and I will show you exactly what this means for your daily workflow, for your business, or for your clients. Let's dive in. First, let's have a look at the foundation. So everything in Atom is driven by global variables, as it should, of course. You update the value once here in the variables, and it will update across the entire site. Every component, every starter, every class updates immediately. So in minutes, literally in minutes, you can adapt this entire system to a new brand. We have dynamic brand colors. Very simple, but yet powerful. You only need to set a single base of hex value for your two main brand colors, brand 1 and brand 2. And from here, Atom automatically generates the different shades of tints for you using CSS relative colors. hue, saturation, lightness. You can tweak them, of course, if you want to. It changes every button, every hover, background, every shade, every tint across your entire site. And yeah, of course, if you'd like to add more colors, you can do that. These brand colors then feed directly into our color schemes. Atom comes pre-configured with 5, very generous, 5 main color schemes. There's the base, there's a dark mode, there's brand 1, brand 2, and also gradient mode. You probably don't need all of them for every single project, but trust me, it is much easier to delete the scheme that you don't need, or just leave the colors as default without any changes. That is much easier than just building one from scratch, I think. So each color scheme acts kind of like a complete package for all your UI colors. When you apply a scheme, it automatically manages every color in that section or on that block, text colors, background colors, button colors, etc. Next up is our fluid engine. Say goodbye to manually tweaking pixels and 4 breakpoints. This is all powered by CSS Clamp. It's pretty standard these days. We have fluid spacing, fluid typography, gaps, sizes, even the icons are fluid across all screens. They all scale proportionately from mobile up to large screens. It adapts naturally, and you don't have to touch one single media query. Thank God for that, right? The standard values work for most projects, but should you want to tweak the clamp calculations, there are a lot of tools on the web out there to do that. For most projects, these will work very well. Before we jump into components, let's take a quick look at the style guide. We're not going to spend too much time here since it's quite similar to any style guide out there. As I mentioned, for the developers out there, Atom is built entirely on the industry standard Client First version 2 naming conventions. So if you ever worked with Client First before, you're going to feel right at home here in the style guide. The core foundations uses the same logic and naming conventions that you already know. But here is where we took it a bit further. We extended the standard Client First guide with a completely new layout system. It has certainly been missing. We added utility classes for grids, flex boxes, gaps, and some other helpful utility classes. This means you get precise structural control right out of the box. You can build advanced layouts instantly without ever having to create new classes, which is going to keep your project clean and save you a ton of time. Finally, the heart of Atom, the page builder. This is where the magic happens. We have a massive suite of pre-configured, completely logic-driven components. They're organized to cover, I think, almost everything you need to build a site. We have the globals like nav bars, footer, we have flexible headers and different kinds of sections. We have flex boxes and grids, we have spacers, and of course we have cards, we have buttons, we have interactives like modals and tabs, and even fully functional CMS lists and filters. And we also have some builder components like card slots, link slot, block slot. But the best part is how you use them. So instead of building with divs and classes, you just drag them and use the Webflow Props Panel. So this is kind of your central control hub. Through this panel, you control variants like instantly switching from a card from like a minimal layout to a box layout. You control spacing, like adjusting gaps in a grid or padding of a section. And you control visibility of content. You can turn off and turn on like a tagline or text or a button. So everything is just controlled with the props panel with simple toggles. You manage layout, styles, and content completely visually. So you see exactly what you're doing. You never, ever have to open the style panel. Before we talk about benefits, I have to quickly show you our interactions. Interactions are really nice to have. They add a bit of professionalism to your site. Atom uses Webflow's native GSAP interactions to give you professional, really smooth animations, and they're all pre-configured. If you want a grid or a car to smoothly stagger as you scroll through the site, you just simply tag on scroll animation to true, and it's all set for you. The framework automatically handles all the complex GSAP logic for you, but you can tweak it if you like. We're definitely going to have a full episode dedicated entirely to this, mastering all the animations in the future. But for now, I just wanted to give you a little peek and see how easy it is. You can just instantly bring your pages to life. You've seen the variables, you've seen the Fluid Engine, the extended style guide, and the awesome component library. But what does this actually mean for you in practice? I think it boils down to 4 massive benefits. Number 1, unmatched speed. You build drastically faster because you aren't constructing divs, sections, div by div. You're not thinking about class names. Your page structure is done in minutes. You kind of get the speed of a template, but the quality of a custom build, I think. Number 2, no more breakpoint headaches. 4 breakpoints in Webflow, it's a lot to think about. Because of the Fluid Engine and autogrids, we don't have to design 4 different versions of your site all the time. You just build and it adapts across the screen, and it's pixel perfect. Benefit number 3, built-in best practices. You don't have to stress over if this site's going to be scalable in a few months' time. You don't have to worry about accessibility. You don't have to worry about semantic HTML. Everything is just baked in. It just works basically right out of the box. Benefit number 4. This is the ultimate client handover. This is really a game changer because it is component first. You can safely hand this project over to a marketer or a client or a business owner who doesn't know any CSS at all. They can change things easily, they can build their own pages, they can change content, they can make quick changes with the props. It just creates a massive value and you can charge more. All right, I feel I probably sound a bit too much like an afternoon TV shop salesman at this point. Sorry about that, but we generally like this. We are very invested in it. We spend a lot of time on it. We built Atom because we want to make Webflow development as easy as possible and as fast as possible. Maybe more importantly, we want to just focus on doing the fun part. We want to have fun building. I think it's a lot of fun to build with Atom. And we really hope you enjoy the building process as much as we do. This was just an overview. In upcoming videos, we are going to dive deep into these features. We will show you exactly how to master the Fluid Engine, how to build with components, even how to integrate this with Reloom or FinSuite, because, you know, they're also based on Client First, right? Huge benefit. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the next deep dive. And if you want to get your hands dirty already today, click on the link in the description to clone the official Atom Builder Framework. It is free, of course. Try it out right now and just let us know what you think in the comments, all right? Welcome to the new way to building Webflow, and I'll see you next week.